Good day, fellow investors. Let's discuss a little bit what is risk, what is uncertainty, and Pabrai's margin of safety. I've made this video discussing Valaris, and a reason why I do videos is also to get your feedback, great comments, and let's first discuss that. Great comment from Paulo, second largest position. He didn't even know that Pabrai owns it. However, the stock has an easy 4x potential if we have another offshore oil capex boom in the next few years. There are other factors: the tight drill ship supply, the high new build cost. That's something we will add to the initial analysis I have made there. And of course, there is potential disappointing performance for onshore oil deposits that would increase offshore demand. So, no disappointment foreseen on the Permian, but never know with oil. The plan is that this will significantly jump 2026-2027. Another great comment here from a subscriber to my platform discussing really the value of the ships and the rigs. So you need at least 2 to 3 years of construction. There is none being made, which means that there is stable or declining supply on likely increasing demand in the next few years. That should be a boom for prices. Nobody is looking at this sector because the sector went bankrupt a few years ago, which is exactly what Pabrai is looking for. And therefore, given that it costs much more to produce those boats than Valaris has them on the books or even has as equity, the day rates will extend. If the market gets there, these stocks are already 4 to 5x at least. So this is the risk, the reward, and they are also declining in supply as they are just scrapping the old ones. So great comment here. And you can see here already from the bottom, we're just rebounding a little bit, but the market cap is 3 billion. If we look at the drill ships and how much it would cost to build all this now, if you go and buy them new, you see here the fleets, and then the expectation is for new offshore projects to pick up 2026-2027 as the major oil drillers are projecting that. And if we put 13 billion to build it, 3 billion of that, that's already 10 billion of value compared to the market cap of 3 billion. Even at a discount, it's 3x, 2x upside. The problem might be that the sector went bankrupt in 2020, therefore consequently unloved by investors. There is some white space currently. Day rates 2026, 2027, we cannot predict the cycle, but it is something very interesting to watch. If there is a negative or delay there, the risk is that the stock returns 50% down. However, the reward is 4x. Therefore, it is a very positive risk and reward, and one that you can consider in the portfolio, as Pabrai is doing, for 10% of it. And then again, we have this comment here: if coal has to triple or double for you to win, same as oil, it's not a margin of safety, it's a Hail Mary. But Buffett built his fortune of patience. Pabrai is trying to beat time with dynamite. I would not say it's dynamite because we don't know when will the next cycle come. But if we look at the supply of the rigs and the demand for it, eventually it will come. On coal, I might be less sure on that, but that is investing. High uncertainty. What's the risk? That's the key question. Then there were other comments discussing Pabrai, the guy who holds on to great companies for dear life for the next 3 weeks. Okay, that's a nice joke. He had Microsoft, likely just to park money, to follow the market. However, as he said, Monish has mentioned often that he doesn't expect all ideas to pay off. And that is completely correct. If we hit 6 out of 10 that the ideas pay off, we are genius investors. And also check this video in the link in the description below, because Buffett also buys something and then out of the 10 stocks he buys, he usually sells 9. So much about long-term and everything. Just a small part of the buys become long-term forever holds, and you can only know that through owning. Here there were some great comments. I'm dropping the hammer on Monish. I don't think I dropped the hammer, I just think I discussed the facts. Monish did, let's say, bad. Especially I think he would characterize his performance over the last 10 years as pretty bad. He did great in the past, he still has positive returns, beating the market over the long term, and given the risk and reward, the next cycle, he will again destroy the market. But again, like the comments on Monish, if you are in the public there, and this is also a comment on me, I will not sell everything to buy a house. Okay, in 2021 we were building a house, I wanted to sell my portfolio, as I say, happy wife, happy life. However, when you look at what I do, I did not manage a fund, I did not sell anyone's stocks. It is Svenkarlin research platform. I also share what I do with my portfolios, no intention to sell anything in the next 10 years, 20, because now that is separated life and platform, but a few years ago it wasn't. So we all make mistakes, Pabrai makes mistakes, but it is a research platform and I also show my portfolios. So there is always something you learn with your comments, which is why I also appreciate the feedback, the negative, the criticism, and we build on that going forward. I have also put Valaris here and Warrior on the quadrant just to follow them because I think it's interesting and I think it is a very positive risk and reward. -50 for 3x, for example. It is positive, so I have put them here on a high reward but also higher risk perspective. You can check also the video to the latest quadrant update in the link in the description below. This would be more of a value investment, more stability, but the max here is perhaps a 2x or 50% up for also lower likely downside. That is the risk and reward. Thanks for watching. Check my research platform for research, also my portfolios. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.